This is a 225 Q&A practice test. Plaintiff Attorney Mr. West, capital W-E-S-T. Defense Attorney Ms. M.S. period Ryan, capital R-Y-A-N. We'll start with the plaintiff attorney. Ready? You didn't actually see him take the money, not the bills. Did you actually see him take the change? Yeah, I glanced up and saw him take the change from her and put it in his pocket. I was looking up and down, and that's when I saw that. When you were down on the ground, were you on your knees? No, I was kneeling, kind of just on my feet, stooping down. Were your eyes about the level of the counter? No, it was a little bit farther down. How tall are you? 5'4". When you stooped down, your head was below the top of the counter? Yeah, from where you were standing, you could look at him and see what color pants he was wearing? Yeah, I could see what color pants he was wearing. I didn't notice what color. If you think back, can you remember what color pants he was wearing? No, I really can't say what he was wearing at all. Would it be fair to say that the part of his body was from his waist down? Yeah. Did you see him wearing shoes? Yeah, I know he was wearing shoes. Can you remember whether they were boots or tennis shoes? No, I really wasn't noticing what he was wearing at all. When you looked at his hand, did you see anything abnormal about it? No. Any missing fingers? No. Did you see any rings or wristwatch? I didn't notice. Were you able to see both of his hands? Yeah, he was standing pretty much in front of me. I could see both of his hands. You said you had to look over your left shoulder. That's when, at any point in time, did you turn around and get closer to him, or were you still in the same position where you had to look over your shoulder to see from his waist down? When he first came in, I was facing the cash register lady. Then as he came in, he told us to get on the floor. I shifted and turned around and then got down. That was shifting towards your left? Yeah, turned around this way. You indicated that you saw a gun. Is that correct? Yeah. Which gun? Which hand was the gun in? Pretty sure it was in his right hand. Can you tell us what color the gun was? It was black. How long was the barrel? What's the barrel? The barrel would be that point, that part of the gun that points out. I'd say it was about that big. It was a small gun, about 2 inches maybe, or smaller, maybe smaller. I'm really not sure. What part of the gun did his hand cover? The part where it comes down and you hold it. Just the grip part? As far as I know, were you able to see the trigger on the gun? Not really. I really wasn't noticing because I tried not to look at it. When you first looked over your left shoulder, you were standing up when you saw this person. Is that correct? Right. Would you tell us approximately how tall that person was? About 6'2", something like that. Okay, tell us approximately how much he weighed. 190, 180 pounds. Are you married? Yes. Do you know how tall your husband is? About 5'10", maybe he was, maybe. He seemed taller than Bill is, maybe about 6 foot. Prior to testifying today, you had a chance to look at this police report out in the hall. Is this correct? Yes. That is what you were reading out there? Yes. Were you reading that police report over the lunch hour? Over the lunch hour? Just before coming in here after our recess? Yeah, I read it before I came in here. Who gave you that police report? This man right here. I'm not sure of his name. The district attorney, Mr. West. Yes. Did you read that part in the police report about what this guy looked like, what his description was? Yes. Did you read the part about him being 5'9", 160? I didn't. I don't remember reading that. I remember what he had on. I think back. I can't remember what he had on. Do you remember when you think back on whether he was Caucasian, Hispanic, or black? When I think back of when I was in the store, he was Caucasian. Do you remember what color his hair was? Pretty much of black, dark. Was he wearing anything on his head? I try and think back to see if he was wearing a hat, but I can't. I couldn't be sure because I tried not to look at him, but it seems to me there was something on his head, but I really can't be sure. Do you remember if he had any facial hair? He had a mustache, I am pretty sure. Even though you were trying not to look at him, for some reason the mustache stands out. Yeah, mustaches stand out to me. I just mainly remember the dark hair and the mustache. How about a beard? I don't believe there was a beard. You are not sure, or you don't believe, or what? I'd say I'm not sure. I wouldn't be positive. Were you able to see his sideburns at all? Not really. You couldn't? I could have looked at them, but I really don't remember them. Was there anything distinctive about his face that you remember? Just that he looked really, to me, he looked really nervous and his face was kind of flushed. Did it look like a sunburn or something else? No, it was more of a nervous. Did he have dark glasses on? Not that I remember. About how long was his hair? Came not quite close to his shoulder. Below his ears, not quite to his shoulder. Yeah, around. Were you able to see the back of his head at all? No, only when he was leaving, and it was just a glance. When you glanced, were you able to tell how long his hair was from the back? It was curly, it was like frizzy, like it was seemed to be about the same all the way around. Something above the collar, yeah, shoulder, ear, in between the shoulder and the ear. Okay, you say curly just in the back, or was it curly over the whole head? If you remember, pretty much all over. It was kind of frizzy. It was more frizzy. Is it like what we call a perm, a permanent type haircut, curls? No, not quite that curly. It was frizzy is the only word I can think of. At some point in time after this occurred, you were shown some photos. Is that correct? Right, the word list. Bill, capital B-I-L-L. Caucasian, capital C-A-U-C-A-S-I-A-N. Hispanic, capital H-I-S-P-A-N-I-C. And I think that is it for the word list. And that will conclude our 225 Q&A practice test.